Well, so this is the first lecture in the series of Learn Ethical Hacking and Pen Testing for beginners. Since my intent is to target the persons who want to learn the ethical hacking and pen testing from basic level, and they want to become an ethical hacker and professional. So this series, I'm going to start from zero, and I will strongly recommend the new buys that they uh, come across this whole series and learn the exciting pen testing and ethical hacking skills and all other relevant things in the same domain. So first of all, what is the uh, theme of this first introductory lecture? Basically this is an introduction to ethical hackers and why it is important to become an ethical hacker. Uh, what is uh, what is the scope and why what you need to become an ethical hacker, and what should be the toolkit of ethical hacker, and what are the main resources you require if you start if you want to become an ethical hacker or professional in this field. So in the beginning, like for the practice purposes, what resources you required, what you need, uh, why to become an ethical hacker, and all this. So in the end we will discuss the summary of this lecture and the next lecture plan. So first of all, who are ethical hackers? So basically, ethical hackers, white hat hackers is another name of ethical hackers, and these are the professionals who do the hacking activities with the permissions of organizations and enterprises. Basically, they are hired persons, and they have a proper permission to penetrate in the networks and systems to specifically improve the security of their networks and systems. Uh, and Basically, what they do, ethical hackers hired by the organizations, and they pay them to perform the penetration testing and ethical hacking activities on their networks and systems, and find the weak holes, find the vulnerabilities in their networks, and to make them aware about the open paths to their networks and systems, so before it becomes too late. So when they find the vulnerabilities and weak holes in the networks and the systems of organizations, and organization become aware of their weak points, so they recover them as soon as possible, and that means they are directly improving the security, overall information and cybersecurity posture of that organization. So uh, those are white hat hackers, because they don't do the hacking activities for malicious intents and personal reasons and all this. So they are doing a job, a well-being for the organizations in terms of improving their security. And so this a role of ethical hackers has become increasingly important in recent years, uh, due to the growing number of security threats. Like in the past, you have definitely heard about many security incidents, and most of them are very severe kind of in recent, like you have definitely heard about the Stuxnet and ransomware malwares, and all of those virus attacks, and like Shamoon 1, Shamoon 2 on Saudi Arabian oil industry, and Stuxnet on Iranian nuclear plant. And recently, you can have live examples of cyber attacks during Russia-Ukraine conflict. So uh, uh, That's why this, due to increased number of cybersecurity threats, a role of ethical hackers become more important. So uh, this is the basic introduction of ethical hackers, like who are those and who are those entities basically. Okay, in the next, why to become an ethical hacker? Uh, like all of us need the job, full-time job, a part-time job, and some income for our good life standard and all these things. So the job market for ethical hackers has grown significantly. Why this job market has grown significantly? Because the cyber threats are increasing day by day. Have I mentioned the example in previous slides? Now everything is now online. Online transactions, online transmissions, online elections, and uh, everything is now online. So cyber threats are this everything is online, and this is basically a attractive target for cyber criminals. So to avoid the cyber criminals, there should be the demand of white hat hackers to uh, encounter the cyber criminals. So that's why the job market of ethical hackers has grown significantly. And some estimates suggest that the number of these job ratios in the field of cybersecurity and ethical hacking could double or even triple in coming years, because uh, we can see significant enhancement in the technologies day by day. So if technology is improving from one side, so there should be a protection measures and safety measures and safety steps to overcome with the security threats and all unwanted incidents that could damage the reputations and finance and other aspects of organization. And in terms of salary, so there is an authentic resources. There are many authentic sources that they're claiming that the highest paid professionals in the technology industries are ethical hackers. So in the freelancing market, in the 9 to 5 jobs and full-time jobs, and in all purposes, ethical hackers are highly paid professionals. So that's why and this become a highly attractive career option. So that's why you will think about to become an ethical hacker. And most important things that I have not mentioned here, that this field is very interesting. You have to play with the systems and web applications, servers, mobile applications, uh, with the cause of finding vulnerabilities for well-being purpose, and getting get pay for that too. So this is a job with fun basically. Okay, next, what you need to become an ethical hacker. First of all, you need a motivation. If you have a motivation and you want and you are interested in this field, then make a commitment and become a dedicated person. So if you want to become an ethical hacker, from your side you need motivation, you should have interest in ethical hacking, and then you have a strong commitment and dedication to become an ethical hacker. So it's not like basically a salary is not everything. Like if you want this, if you are thinking that this would be the solely purpose of your career, being an ethical hacker, so it will become difficult to survive, difficult for you to survive in the industry, uh, because you need motivation, interest, commitment, and dedication as well. So after that you will become a successful professional in this field, and you will survive in this market. Like if you have only salary in your mind, so then sorry for you, but motivation, interest, commitment, and dedication is compulsory, and these are required to you, uh, and these all should be managed by yourself. Like you have to be motivated, you should have an interest, and you should be a committed person and dedicated person. So when you will manage these three things in yourself, and after I will try to deliver you these two secondary aspects. So these are the technical skill and knowledge in the field of uh, ethical hacking and vulnerability analysis and penetration testing and white hat hacking, all these things. So these three things you should have to manage by yourself, and these two things which are required for you to become an ethical hacker, I will deliver in the series of these lectures. So next, what is the toolkit of ethical hacker? Basically, a beginner. If you are a beginner, I'm not going to the intermediate level or professional level first. So since we started from the zero, so that's why I want you to learn from the zero and keep a step ahead with me. And in the end of this series, so you will feel yourself good. You will have a strong grip in this area. So what should be the toolkit for the beginners in the field of ethical hacking? So you need definitely a desktop or laptop for practice purposes, and you should have to install hypervisor to hypervisor software, that is the virtualization software. For example, VMware Workstation, Oracle VirtualBox, Microsoft Hyper-V. So these all are type 2 Hyper-V because they installed on the operating system, and inside them many virtual machines can be created. Next, you should have Kali Linux VM. You can also install this Kali Linux as a primary operating system in your desktop or laptop. But I'm not recommending that for the ethical hackers, because if you install physically on that system, during test purposes, when you will perform malware analysis in the advanced stage of ethical hacking and penetration testing, so there will be a chances that your primary operating system will get infected and your all the data and files can be corrupted. So that's why always use this in the virtual environment inside a protection layer. So you need a Kali Linux virtual machine, and you will need a Metasploitable virtual machine. This would be the entire practicals. This would be the attacking machine, and this would be the victim machine. Metasploitable is intentionally vulnerable machines that is developed specifically for the penetration testers and ethical hackers students to learn the activities and perform the practices on it. So this is a practice environment for the beginners. So you should have to install all these things in virtualized environment on physical host, and you can install all of these things from online, and these are available free of cost. I will put the links in the description of this video, and if you want to see here, I will show you. So just go to get Kali Linux, and you will find here a lot of options. Like you want to install in ARM, you want ISO image, you want virtual machines, prepared virtual machine. So I will recommend you to download the virtual machine here. So if you have Oracle VirtualBox type 2 hypervisor, so download this. If you have VMware workstation, you can download it from here. So just click on it and it will start downloading. Okay, next is where is the VMware workstation. So you can install it from the official site of VMware. So I will put the link in the description. You can download, or you can download Oracle VirtualBox as well. Just type in the Google download Oracle VirtualBox, so you will get to the official website of Oracle VirtualBox. Next is the Metasploitable. So sourceforge.net, this website is offering the images virtual machines of Metasploitable. So you can download it from here. You will find the link of this in the description as well. Okay, when you downloaded all of these things, so there will be a directory uh, in your personal computer, in your physical host, which I mean this. So this is the Metasploitable, this is Kali Linux, and this is the VMware workstation. Just install this, and after that you can install the virtual machines just in fraction of seconds. Just like you have to extract this, open this, there should be a VMware virtual machine configuration file. This you can read the description of it as well. So this is the VMware machine virtual machine configuration. So just right click on it, and if you have installed the VMware workstation already, so you will find the relevant icon here. So just click on here, open. So the virtual machine with default setting will open in the VMware. So we will see this in the next lecture when we will start the practical properly. So just like Metasploitable as well, download, and this is the virtual machine configuration file. Right click on it and open. So it will also be open with default setting. So it is recommended that keep the setting default. So your virtual lab environment will be completed. So with this toolkit, we will start the ethical hacking practices from the beginning, and we will start this practical from the next lecture. Okay, so what should be the required resources to perform the practical activities? So first of all, in the virtual machine environment, to install the Kali Linux as a virtual machine, you must have to assign the 2 CPUs and at least 4 GB of RAM to the virtual machine of Kali Linux, and 150 GB of storage. Because sometimes you need to install the third-party tools, hacking tools in the Kali Linux, so they require spaces. So that's why it is recommended that specify the 150 GB at least to the Kali Linux virtual machine. Other one is Metasploitable. This is not much resource hungry. You can assign one processor to it, and 1 GB of RAM is enough, and 40 GB of storage, even 20 GB is enough. But for the convenient, you can assign more than its requirement, like 40 GB. So to run these two virtual machines on physical hosts, so your physical host should have 6 core of CPUs, at least 8 GB of RAM, because 4 and 5 GB you will assign to the virtual machines, and 3 GB, at least 3 GB you should have spare on your on running the hypervisor and other tools on your physical host, and 500 GB of storage. This is not a big deal in this era, so you can easily manage all these things. So these are the required resources that you will required to perform the ethical hacking practice and practicals with me in the upcoming lectures. So you should have managed all these resources. Okay, so next thing is summary of this lecture is that this is the lecture 1, and in the objective 1 we discussed who are the ethical hackers and why to become an ethical hacker, what is their importance, why they need, and what is their importance in the society. And in the lecture 1 objective 2 we discussed why you need to become an ethical hacker, as we discussed that there are highly paid jobs, and they do well-being for organizations. They encounter the cyber security risks and all these things. So next we discuss the toolkit required for ethical hacker as a beginner, and the required resources like CPU, primary and secondary storage. So in the lecture 2, the first objective of lecture 2 will be how to install and configure the VMs. so we will discuss in the practical environment. I will share my screen and like this, and we will discuss how to run the virtual machines in VMware, and how to start how to start with Kali Linux, and how to start the Metasploitable. And in the uh, objective 2 of lecture 2, next lecture, we will run both the machines, Kali Linux and Metasploitable machine, and we will connect them to each other and perform some, and we will perform some practical sessions like ping test, trace routes, and basic connection testing methods we will test. So basically in next lecture we will set the practical environments for ethical hacking. So be with me till then, take care, thank you, bye bye.